What's good, peeps? Thanks always passing by the channel, much appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you guys are new. All right, so what next, or should I say who next for Billy Joe Saunders? I normally do these videos after they fight, but I'm pretty confident that Billy Joe Saunders will retain his WBO 168-pound strap on the undercard of two YouTubers. He doesn't give a fuck, by the way, about fighting on the undercard of two YouTubers. Doesn't care at all. I feel like we, as fight fans, get so riled up, me included, by the way, about certain things. Obviously, in this instance, that a world champion is fighting on the undercard of two YouTubers. Billy Joe Saunders don't give a fuck. He's like, just pay me, just give me my money. I saw something the other day. I don't know how true this is. Probably is true, but I saw something that Billy Joe Saunders is getting a guarantee of $750,000 for this fight. Not bad, especially when you consider the opponent. I mean, this isn't a live opponent. This should be, famous last words, easy work for Billy Joe Saunders. So not bad, and that's the guarantee. I don't know if a bit more cream on top will take it to $1 million, but again, not bad for what is quite a quick fight. When did he sign with Eddie Hearn? I'm gonna say about 6-7 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago. It's not bad, right? First fight in LA. All right, so who should he fight next, people? And at what weight class? I thought he looked a bit fleshy at 168, so I think he can still make 160 comfortably, but he does have a world title, so I guess it depends on who's available and that check, right? If he gets a bigger check going to 160, he'll go down to 160. If there are better opportunities at 168, he stays at 168. Right now, I think there could be more realistic opportunities at 168. Not necessarily bigger fights, but I think everyone goes to 160 hoping to get the GGG fight or the big one, the Canelo fight. I don't think Billy Joe Saunders is thought of by Oscar and Golden Boy and even Canelo as a possible opponent yet. I don't think so. So I'm going to rule him out of the Canelo one just for now. GGG, Eddie Hearn announced this week that, and I'm talking about Billy Joe Saunders' next fight, by the way. So this fight coming up after this one. GGG has a mandatory. I think Eddie Hearn's going to announce it in the next couple of weeks. He had a meeting with GGG, I think yesterday or the day before. So I think GGG will do his mandatory. So that's probably not going to happen with GGG. So let's park those two for a second. There's still some good options, but let's park those two. Callum Smith, who obviously is the WBA and Ring recognized #1 super middleweight. He mentioned Billy Joe Saunders today. Obviously, Callum Smith's got that fight with John Ryder coming up in a couple of weeks' time. He mentioned they would like to fight Billy Joe Saunders at Anfield or Canelo or GGG. Stop. Billy Joe Saunders versus Callum Smith ain't doing no Anfield. It's not going to happen. I just don't think that fight's... It should be big, right? Two guys, two champions, two unbeaten guys, two British guys. It just doesn't, for some reason, feel like a big fight to me. You hope that the Matchroom machine and the Zone machine can make it bigger than it is, but it doesn't feel like a big fight. So I can't see that one happening next either. It could happen and it should happen down the line. Frank Warren tried to make it happen as well. There wasn't enough money involved, and I do wonder if there's enough money on the table for both of them now to kind of risk giving up their world titles and giving up their unbeaten records. It's a good fight. I would favour... Don't know, actually. I think I'd lean to Billy Joe Saunders. I know Callum Smith's a lot bigger, but I just think Billy Joe Saunders has the skills to pay the bills. I think he's quite skillful, so I'd lean to Billy Joe Saunders just in that one, but I don't think that fight's going to happen next. What about Danny Jacobs? Danny Jacobs obviously got this fight with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. We'll talk about that one on This Week in Boxing tomorrow. Got that fight coming up in December. Danny Jacobs, 168 pounds now. He would want a world title at 168 to be a 2-weight world champion. That's realistic. That is very realistic. That is top 3. I think top 3. Both of them signed to the Zone. Both will favour that fight. Both will think they can win. If Billy Joe Saunders wants to kind of grow his name a bit more in the American market, Danny Jacobs is known to the boxing people in the American market and to sporting people in general. So that's a good fight, providing that Danny Jacobs gets past Chavez Jr. He would want to win that title, right? That title opens up more doors for him as well. So that's a good fight. A fight that I really like and a fight that I really, really want to see is Demetrius Andrade. Billy Joe Saunders, to me, still has to answer that Demetrius Andrade question. They were going to fight at 160. Obviously, Billy Joe Saunders had this issue with, I don't even know what the drug's called anymore, but VADA basically had an issue with that. Even though UCAD said it was okay, the fight got scrapped. They were supposed to redo it again. Didn't happen. Demetrius Andrade put his name forward to fight Billy Joe Saunders on this card, going up to 168. So he's willing to go to 168. Didn't happen. I need to see that fight. I really need to see that fight. Again, a top 3 fight for me. We need to see Billy Joe Saunders versus Demetrius Andrade. It just has to happen. Again, both signed to the same promoter, same network now. So all these kind of excuses before are done, right? Both of them unbeaten. Billy Joe Saunders, 2-weight world champion. Demetrius Andrade, 2-weight world champion. Both good amateurs as well. So there's a lot going for that fight. So that would be my ideal pick. Demetrius Andrade would be my ideal pick. I, though, for some weird reason, feel like it's not going to be any of those. I don't think it's going to be any of those. I feel like it's going to be someone like, and call me mad here, but I feel like it's going to be someone like a Gabriel Rosado. I think it's going to be someone like that, almost a gatekeeper at 160. I can see Gabriel Rosado moving up to 168 and taking that fight and getting that fight. Especially if Billy Joe Saunders isn't able to get the guys I just mentioned. So if he's not able to get Canelo and GGG, which he won't. If he won't get Danny Jacobs, might not. And if he doesn't get Demetrius Andrade, Callum Smith's not going to happen until the summer at least. I'm talking about a fight that probably happens in February or March. If he doesn't get any of those fights, I wouldn't be shocked if we see a Billy Joe Saunders versus a Gabe Rosado. Gabe Rosado's name is always there or thereabouts. His name was linked to fighting Danny Jacobs if Chavez Jr. didn't get through this VADA issue. He's got through it now. He's taken the fight. He was linked as a possible name to fight Billy Joe Saunders on this card. So his name's there or thereabouts, and it wouldn't be shocking for me if he gets the opportunity. And I actually think he'll put up a good fight. I think Billy Joe Saunders will beat him, just because I think Billy Joe Saunders is better, right? And every time we've seen Gabriel Rosado step up to this better level, he does normally lose, although he's always put on a good performance. I think the only bad performance I've seen from him, really, which was, I thought, just a one-sided beatdown, but I think there were problems in the lead-up to that fight, was Charlo. Apart from that, he always puts on a good performance. So yeah, Billy Joe Saunders will win, but it won't be easy. And it won't be easy because Billy Joe Saunders doesn't have that punch, right? That big punch, especially not at 168 either, to really keep these guys off. And for someone like a Rosado, he's going to have to work pretty much every minute of every round because we know Rosado does. So I think those are the options. The more unrealistic options are people like Chris Eubank Jr., obviously, but now he's with PBC. That fight's, I don't think, ever going to happen. I think it's nigh impossible. Charlo's over there with PBC. Again, very difficult. So I can't see those fights happening. I can actually see Charlo fighting Eubank. That's a fight that's been spoken about. So there are unrealistic ones as well, like Benavidez and Caleb Plant. But I think the more realistic ones are Rosado, Andrade, and Danny Jacobs. What do you guys think? Let me know. Peace.